Well, hey y'all, welcome on back to the ranch. I am here. All right, for those of you keeping up, yes, I did give a few clues as to where Large Mount St. Large may be. Problem is, it's about as much as I can help. The realms of creation are kind of outside of time and space, so we'll look into that. But speaking of weird places, bunch of are these land masses floating? I don't know what's up beneath. It's a very confusing situation out there in California, eh? So let's see what Marshal Kevin can tell us about it. Over to you,
Hello.
Marshal.
Oh, hey, there we go. Hey, hello and welcome. Here we are, a bunch of people and me playing Deadlands. Thank you from the Marty Time Space Continuum. We appreciate the parts of you that were available to present yourself this evening. Yeah, you never know. I just like to cover all my bases. Speaking of covering all my bases, hello, all the people in the chat. I see you chatting already. That's wonderful. And all the people that are here right next to me, Ryan, who's playing Baptiste for us this evening. Down at the end of the row, Hannah, who's playing Ellie. And then just worked across the bottom, Alice playing Sarah. Sky playing Jet. And Lessamax playing Lucius. That is the crew that tonight finds themselves on the edge of the landmass, about to head out on who knows what kind of an adventure to stop who knows what kind of cult in their homemade flying carty boaty car thing, steam powered, of course. And with that,
Ari McBoatface? Bodie McCarface?
Bodie McCarface?
It's an art, I think, is what Jet named it.
Art.
It's an art, yes, because it was like a cart, but it was
I
smaller
would
than that,
prefer
so it's
a
an
Garfunkel.
That's the show, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thanks very much. We should probably roll the credits now and give us ourselves a second to
We don't have credits.
We don't have credits? We did a thing.
And now, let's go down a new rabbit hole where we find our Poison Paradise Party, Hollywood bound.
Speaking of character art, we ended last week with a question to Jet, who was not normally for him, but he was out and about for a bit of a midnight stroll. And something happened. And if you need to know what happened and you don't know, go back and watch last week's episode. Jet, let me put it this way. Could you now describe Baptiste's buttocks to a police artist?
I really hope not. Here's what I imagine.
Yes.
What has happened is I woke up really early or really late, depending on how you're looking at it. And I came out of my room and I started to walk down the hall. And as I started, I heard some noises. And at first I was concerned. And then I was really concerned. And then I turned around. And no matter how many stories up we are, I walked out of the wall, out of the house. I'll take the fall damage. It's worth it.
Just off to the ground outside. All right.
Any way to get out of that? Oh God. Okay. And so then I'm just finding the.
It is a beautiful and natural thing, and I will not be shamed.
Nope. There will be no shame. There will also be no further mention of it until morning.
So all I'm doing is because I'm not going on that roof. I'm going to find another roof, and literally until dawn, like until everybody's coming, I'm going up, and I'm going to just.
You said it. I mean,
I'm going.
You can sit there and look innocent all you want.
I don't even know what I said. That's why it's so bad. I said until everybody's up. Oh,
it's getting worse. It's not getting better.
Anyway, I'm going up on the roof, and I'm going to dance all night, and I'm going to be thinking about my bird form, and I'm going to be essentially trying to. I'm thinking about what we need, and I'm like, what I need is a tailwind. I need that to happen the next day to help this go a little bit faster to get us there. And essentially I'm pouring all that effort over the evening into doing that. And that's what I've got on my mind while I'm doing it. And that's the long and the short of it.
All right. There's, you're exhausted by the time the sun comes up, and there's that little burst of wind that you get that kind of rides the Terminator, the sun line. So the sun comes up and you get this sort of air of that sort of the end of night blowing off of you and cooling you off as you stop dancing. And you feel charged and ready.
All right.
But for now, the wind is still.
Perfect.
And you, at this point, realize that the rest of them are waking up, and you're the only people in this city, so there's no other movement. You can see now there's deer and coyotes and raccoons and bears and all kinds of stuff encroaching, because you guys are up on the hill and you can see most of this from the mansion. So you can see it more as you climb down from the roof. But nature is already starting to take this city back. You come down and find... the rest of you at breakfast, one assumes. I guess the question is, did you come down together?
Ellie was up early. She didn't really sleep a whole lot that night, so she was probably just kind of pacing around. Downstairs. So she would have been
downstairs. So So these. Anyway.
I probably couldn't sleep last night, because I mistakenly heard some, I think I've heard some animals fucking around or something, I don't know, so I just kind of curled up in the corner, scared.
We danced around it, Les Max ran up and jumped in the middle of it like a 4-year-old in a puddle.
But regardless, I calmed down just with coffee, and it's like, just drinking.
Alice would come down alone and doing something that you've never seen her do before, which is smoking a cigarette. Yep.
Yeah, Baptiste comes down for breakfast. He probably doesn't. Yeah. He's not really acting all that differently.
Yeah.
Although, let me just point out, first of all, like, he's in his 30s. He's not 17.
Yeah. Right.
And it's been years. It was probably only like 20 minutes worth of noise, folks. Yeah. Realistic here.
And like, I want to out like after which there would have been a cigarette, and then she would have thrown a robe at him and told him to get out.
Okay, so the next morning, you guys, you guys are at breakfast the next morning when Jet walks back in.
Also, he doesn't have to take the robe. If he wants to walk around naked, that's fine. I don't care. But
I mean, I have clothes. I put clothes on when I come down to breakfast.
Well, I mean, but you showed up. But you have to get back to your room.
Showmanship, come on.
So there's.
He's got a hat.
Yeah. Classic.
Let's just say he's holding the hat, but not with his hands.
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Nice hat. Thank you.
Should have walked through his room and locked his door.
That would have been so mean. Oh my god.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
But yeah, Alice comes down smoking a cigarette. She's different in no other way. She's just smoking a cigarette.
So this is Alice. So I'm assuming like ivory cigarette holders out of nowhere, just and then cigarette.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It matches her gun.
Yeah, you have a smoking parasol. You have an outfit specifically for this. Yeah.
Ellie's just gonna offer some coffee.
I also take it. I don't usually drink coffee, but long day ahead.
Speaking of which, you guys can see out the window the balloon sort of wobbling in this slowly gathering wind.
Had we discussed previously what time we were planning to leave? Did we decide on that?
I mean, I believe what we had talked about was setting out in the latter part of the afternoon so that we can travel in the evening, which is a little bit, might be cooler.
Okay.
That's actually
Also, I just want to know, there was a lot of stuff going on yesterday. It was hard work. It all runs together. Jet, did you explode a sheep or a goat? Some sort of ungulate? That happened, right? That did occur.
He's like loopy. Like I come in and it's just like that, just barely and my eyes are barely open. And when I see Alice smoking a cigarette, I'm gonna walk up. I think I just didn't even hear Baptiste at that point. He's like, and I see him smoking, and I'm just gonna pull out my own cigarette. And I'm just like, why at me?
She does. She obliges.
And I mean, he's been dancing all night. His clothes, not just like his shirt isn't just stuck to him, his jeans, his vest, his hat's all smooshing down, his hair's stuck to his face.
Well,
and it's all starting to dry in the morning wind, so... Yeah.
Jet just invented the LA rave scene.
Oh, God.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
He's got a pacifier and a glow stick around his neck.
Yeah.
If he goes for a run, would that be a jet dry?
Well, he's really tired. It'd be a jet lag.
It would definitely be a jet lag, yeah.
This whole season's been a jet lag.
When Ellie sees Jet, she's like holding a coffee, and then she grabs like a second mug and hands him two.
No milk, either one. Yeah.
And again, it's like I'm so tired. I take them both in one hand, and I'm just looking at them. And then I try because
Oh God!
One at a time. One at a time. There you go.
I'm gonna pat his on the back and go sit down.
Alice says, "Well, maybe since we're not leaving until later, maybe we should use the day to gather any remaining supplies that we need."
I thought we already had done that already.
Yeah, but we can always take stock and...
If I remember, you guys got lots of military supplies, so you got like whatever.
There is the idea of provisions.
True.
Yeah.
Well, how much of that? How much is that deer is left? Sorry, I'm asking Kevin. I know it was in character voice.
Okay.
Mea culpa.
You guys, you got all the provisions, like the equivalent of MREs and canned water from the military base. So you got a lot of that. The deer was just yesterday. So there's probably, I mean, even if you guys pigged out, there's still 3/4 of a deer left. And you really would have had to go to eat a whole quarter of a deer.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll cut strips and salt them and let them and hang them out on like the clothes hanger.
The clotheslines, yeah.
Salt and dry a bit in the air.
Yep.
Alice will spend the day, I guess, fiddling with the mechanics that we have to drive this ship.
Yep.
And kind of probably ask Lucius to come along so that they can make sure that they really have this down and that everything is ready to go whenever we are ready to leave.
I will certainly help with that. If there's a small moment, I'd also like to kind of get my shit together just by taking a look at that old theater. Not too long, just because I might not even come back. So
yeah. So what was it you're looking
otherwise?
for What was it you're looking for there?
I want to know if I'm fucking crazy or not, to be perfectly blunt. Or I want to know if that's real. I just want to see if I can find some answers. And if it's nothing, well, then it's nothing. Then it's just me. But at least I know.
So
but the point being is I just want to...
Yeah. You go back into the theater. And you...
Oh, and anybody can come if they want. I'll just put that out there. You are welcome to come if you have a moment.
I also go. I mean, if you tell her that you're leaving what y'all are doing to go do something else, she'll tag along.
I'm essentially going wherever anyone pulls me, because I'm just.
Well, I mean, if you're not leaving till the afternoon, there's no reason why you can't go get some rest.
Yeah, Ellie was gonna tell him to go to bed.
Yeah.
Get some sleep.
Drag him upstairs and shove him into his room.
Yeah.
I'm just chewing coffee grinds at this point.
Yeah,
Yes, she's just gonna like guide him.
I don't know if Sky has ever been in a situation. Have you ever been in a place you took way too much caffeine and now you're trying to get to sleep? And you're exhausted. Yes. So imagine like 3 Red Bull and you're as sick as you've ever been.
Adderall.
I'm trying to give him stuff he can relate to.
Adderall.
Yeah.
I guess if Ellie leads me out there, I'll like lay in bed and then I'm just rolling around for a while trying to get to sleep. And then just you hear, if anyone's still at the house, you just hear, what I need is for the sun to shut the hell up. And I go over to the window and realizing I can't.
That's the quote of the day.
Realizing I can't cover up the window, I just stomp out into the hall. And then I find the broom closet, and then I just go sit in the broom closet.
Zombie Jet makes his appearance. So, curled up amongst the mops, the brooms, the bleach, and the janitor's secret stash of alcohol. A very tired, sweaty cowboy in a black hat goes to sleep under a shelf.
All right, Harry Potter.
Yeah. So at the church, at the theater.
I'll go with them once I put Jet to bed.
Okay. And that leaves Baptiste. Are you going as well, or?
Having made jerky this way, it's not a fast process. So
no. Yeah. So okay.
I'll go with them if you want to magic GM hand wave, but I also can be working on the thing I said.
Yeah, let's just do it with the 2 of them. This won't be long. So the 3 of you head down there. Lucius, as you approach, it's that weird thing where like everything more than about 10 feet away from you suddenly feels like it's, I mean, this is a modern phrase, but it's like it's a movie projected on a screen. Like the only thing that's real is just you and just this little bit of space. And as you step in, this time you come into the theater from the back where the punters come in, the main doors. This is not the stage. This is where people look at the stage. And as you walk in, there's a moment where it's all lit up and the best and brightest are in their seats. You can tell who's who by how close they're sitting to the stage. It's all a world you're very, very comfortable with. The 2 of you that are with him cannot see this, but he freezes when he walks in, just boom. And then it's empty again, Lucius. Everybody's gone. It's dusty. It's dirty. It's dingy. It's been this way for years. You're back now, which is somewhere in between. It's been abandoned, but only for a couple of weeks, maybe more.
Ellie's just going to put her hand on his shoulder when he freezes. Is everything okay?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just need to get my wits together before we go. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate this. I don't want to be here too long.
Yeah. Alice just lights another cigarette.
She's now an addict.
That's different.
She takes a dragon only on special occasions.
Baptiste wasn't with them, so he never heard.
I know,
he qualifies as a special occasion. He's making jerky. Ryan knows, yeah.
Making jerky? Really?
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I put it out there.
Oh, God.
So, you, after that, the two of you make your way back. And go ahead and both give me tinker rolls.
Oh.
Survival for making jerky. Okay, yeah.
Where's my character sheet?
It's going to be a challenge to do in one day, but yeah, it'll be edible.
Do tinkering rolls, you said?
Yep.
Here we go.
Just give me
back,
one each.
Back the 9.
Okay, give me a second. Sorry. And I didn't grab my chips yet. Oops.
Oh yeah, anybody that hasn't grabbed their chips yet, please do that. We kind of jumped in early. We jumped in fast and furious tonight, so. 13, 9, and a 13. Okay. We'll take that first one, the 18, yeah. You roll twice. Doesn't matter. You're not at disadvantage. The two of you figure out together that you could fit rudders to this thing and actually fly it.
Have we found rudders somewhere, or is that something?
It's just big flat pieces of wood would work, right? You put them because you guys have got the two props sticking out the back, right? If you just hang one sideways and one vertically behind it, you tip it that way, you go up and down. You tip it that way, you go side to side.
All right. Alice kind of. I vote we do it. Thoughts?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I apologize. I'm for putting rudders on it.
Yeah.
Rudders
basically like a blimp has at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like did they basically just kind of balance the blend in the sense?
Well, in this case, they'd be actually hanging off, in my head anyway, they're hanging off the back of the body of the boat itself, or the gondola itself, because that's where the fans are, right? So you hang them right behind those and you get the most effect.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you guys rolled quite well, so we'll give you some aeronautical knowledge, even though, well, I guess technically this is still a lighter than air aircraft. They had flown by this point. So
I imagine Alice has asked Jet a lot of questions about flying as a bird at this point.
The day before, I'm assuming, because I'm in the closet.
I know, like she would have found a time to question you.
Yep.
Either that, or she experienced it. Yeah. She experienced it too.
Yep.
In the memory sequence. So yeah.
I don't know how much that would help you gliding and air currents and such compared to floating, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to build this, I need another tinkering roll out of the two of you to actually put it together.
Sure.
For Alice's case, to tell Lucius how to put it together, I suspect.
Sorry. I was just going to say, do we still want to add that rope to like go up and down as well that we had mentioned earlier?
Well, that's easy enough. That's just a rope off one side underneath the cable and back up the other side. So go ahead and give me one more each.
Make another. Okay.
Cool.
You have tinked. The other tinker.
Coming right up.
Tinking on up. A 14 and a 12. That'll do it. You guys, by the end of the afternoon, and with some, with a bit of grunting and groaning, it's not difficult. I mean, it's literally just a couple pieces of wood and some rope. So you guys can now, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's still a bloody great balloon with a big cart hanging off the bottom of it with limited controls, but yeah, it will certainly, you have some control over where it's going to go now.
Nice.
By the time you're ready to leave.
Do we want to take this for a test?
I don't know. Also, I'll remind you that there is, no one knew that the name was going to be painted on the side. So for the first time you see it, there is the name with everybody's symbols painted on the side of the board.
I'm assuming this is your handiwork? Nice touch.
Yeah. I thought it would be nice to fly to our deaths in something that felt like ours.
Yes. Coffin in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just kind of, and at a certain point, she'll once everything is kind of put together, she'll go, because she would never light a cigarette near the blimp.
No,
but
we decided it was hydrogen, right, or is it helium?
We made
a roll.
Hydrogen.
It's helium. That's right. It was safe, right?
Yeah.
Right. You could plummet to your deaths, but probably not explode.
That doesn't matter. Right. But she would still just, it's just overcautious. So before we're actually about to take off, she'll find a moment to go up back to the house and smoke another cigarette before we leave.
Before you go, Miss Alice, do you think there's anything else? I got a little checklist here. We got food provisions. Blah, I can't even say. Do we need anything else? Perhaps tinker-wise, maybe armor, improving our weapons if there's time. Because I got a bunch of like tinkering parts that I'm bringing with us.
Your tinkering time today is going to be pretty much taken up by putting this stuff on.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, like along the way, if there's time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, we can discuss that all on the way. We'll figure it out. And she once again claps him on the shoulder and walks up toward the house.
Keep doing that. I don't. Gosh, you're in a goddamn happy mood. I'm not used to it. Stop.
You just hear the light. You just hear like, I guess, did they have light? I guess it was a match at this time. You just hear the of the match as she's walking away.
She reaches behind herself and lights it off of her own ass.
There's a hidden in the button row on her dress. There's a hidden bit of a
badass
matchbox. Yeah.
So that's you guys for the day. We have a sleeping crow in the cupboard. Ellie, did you help these guys, or what else? What, you had a whole day?
Yeah, she was just gonna try to like start packing everything and gathering it, try to find like, things to hold water and hold their food and everything so that they can just easily carry it all as easily as possible.
Absolutely. There's buckets and barrels all over the place. Like you said, you've got a whole city to choose from. So yeah, you guys are well provisioned.
She's also she's gonna like peek in to check on Jet. And when she doesn't see him, she's kind of gonna like wander around trying to find him. And when she does, she's just gonna grab like a blanket and put it over him and just close it again.
Snoring in the closet.
So yeah, when you wake up, you've got one of those packing blankets laid on you. The ones you wrap furniture in, because that's what was in the room with you.
Yeah, she's probably going to
sleep
be
inside of one of those. You are tired.
Yeah.
That shit's itchy.
It is itchy.
She's just going to kind of hang by Baptiste, just keep him company while he's doing that, and just packing, just trying to pack everything.
Perfect. So, late afternoon arrives. The Jet, as you wake up and come to, you hear a little voice in your head that says, "Now?"
Maybe. No.
And you hear outside a...
And it's like that, just like, and it's like, oh shit, and I put my hat on and I bust out of the closet, and then
packing blanket goes flying down the hall.
I'm just grabbing all my shit, and I was like, hey, I guess, are Baptiste and Ellie out by this clothesline?
Yeah, you're all by yourself in the mansion. Everybody else is down by the blimp,
like waiting.
Oh well, yeah, I guess I'm just sprinting down. I'm like, oh god, storms are coming. Let's go. We gotta go.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
Arriving with Jet, pretty much, is this start of a breeze.
Yeah, and Alice, Alice kind of points out the painting that she did on the side, and she says,
Can you run us through them just quickly again? Because it's been a week in the real world. So
it's Miriam, right? I think that was the name that we...
Yep.
Is that right? And then in the corners, there's like two little smoking guns for Baptiste.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little crow for Jet. And then there's a cool looking card for Ellie. And then for Lucius, it was the shovel. And then Alice's little camera was hidden in the A of Miriam.
Right.
And then it's got like swirly designs kind of like that are around me now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just pretty.
It's an amazing amount of work. Like whoever did this, and it's pretty obvious who did from the beaming, prideful grin on her face. It's amazingly well done. You rolled very, very high on that. So
she says, I thought it would be nice to make it feel more like ours. Since we put so much work
Alice,
into it.
I will say that is the most beautiful hearse I've ever seen.
That's what I told Lucius. I said that it would be nice to fly to our death in something that felt like ours.
Y'all sure are hell-bent on dying.
And as Baptiste says she
I certainly hope that I am wrong, but
yeah.
you know.
As Baptiste says that, though, she kind of goes, damn, I need another cigarette. It's too late now.
I gave her my last Cuban I got from
she's got cigarettes. She's just not gonna smoke this close to the blimp.
Yeah, if y'all are talking about
and Miss Alice and like a foot-long Cuban cigar. I'm not sure. No, save that image for later. No, that's
it's the dainty little
yes, the little
lady
cigarette
fingers.
holder, the ivory cigarette holder, and
and
she never actually has to touch the cigarette because it's in the little holder.
I'm holding down my hat as the breeze starts to pick up, and I'm like, look, if you want smoke, you better get it done now because it's about to get real windy. So
this is your handiwork, Jet?
Yes. I was doing, and there's just this like narrowing slowly of the eyes. It's just like, I was up last night, and then it just looks away. It's like, so that,
And when you say that, and you point east, because that's where it's coming from, because you asked it to blow from behind you. What the rest of you see is a low line of dark clouds sitting on the horizon. It looks like a storm out sort of halfway to Las Vegas sort of distance, seen from LA. Jet, when you look, you see the flight feathers, like the bottom of an outstretched wing, those long feathers. You see those are what make up that line of cloud, and they're just slowly undulating, and that's what's making the wind.
Alice says, well, there really is a storm coming, and load up. She starts climbing onto the
like
gondola.
rope ladders, I guess.
Yep. To get into the gondola itself, you are going to need like little short-ish rope ladders, because you had to get the wheels have to be big enough to get the fans off the ground, right? So this is an ungainly thing. In the sky, it's probably going to be beautiful because it's a big blimp with a gondola underneath. It's got wheels on and fans, but on the ground, it's a little wobbly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's also a ramp because there are horses still.
Yep, you can get them in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys ripped off all the siding off of this thing, so it's basically a framework. So you just sort of you can walk the horses in as well.
Yeah.
Do you have to bring Rebecca? Are you bringing Rebecca?
I mean, I think the way we understand Rebecca works, she'll show up when she's needed.
Yes. Okay.
So there's not a reason to put another large animal on the thing.
Yeah, Alice has stopped asking about where Rebecca is.
Yeah, it's probably best not to know. Yeah. So you've got I'm sorry, what was Alice's horse's name? I should know. Fancy. Of course it was.
One chance, Fancy.
Let me down.
Fancy. So Fancy's on there, plus the 3 nameless horses that the other 3 of you are riding, right?
Betty.
Black Betty? I didn't know you
Fancy,
had a name.
Betty, Veronica, and Jughead.
Her name is Dusk.
And one that one of my friends will forever insist. Thank you. One of my friends will forever insist on calling Reggie. They absolutely refused to admit that character's name was Reggie. It was, it's 2 G's. It's Reggie. Other than that, fairly smart person, but no. I can make that joke. No, that was the 80s. They're probably dead.
Harsh.
All right.
So, you guys, the wind is starting to pick up behind you. What is the plan? Because the rope itself is 200 feet above you. So if you wanted to do your sort of stirrup around the rope thing, you've got to get up there. If you just want to fly, that's a whole different story.
Just want to like, are we sheltered enough? So or no? Are
right
we
now
on
you're
open
tied
air?
down.
Okay.
You're sort of you're tied down tightly enough. It's not going anywhere unless you cut the ropes or release the ropes.
I mean, once we release these, like you've designed this so that it will rise. You know, we fill it with the air. However, because that storm's coming, we should probably be fairly high up so that it can push us along our way.
Yeah. Can avoid the
Suppose this
storm
is-
as much as possible.
Make birth? Is that what you say? I was never really much for the Navy.
Oh, speaking of which, should we do the ceremonial like bottle crash? Because I brought one with me just in case. Just. Or is that only for ships?
Where's the ship?
Is this a ship?
It's a ship.
It's a
Ships at sea, I meant. So, but I didn't know if this one counted.
I didn't paint a name on the side of it for it to not be a ship.
Yeah. Break your bottle, Lucius.
All right, let's do it.
Do you
It falls apart.
well here's the thing. It's given the time and place, this is still a situation now actually. Historically, women launch ships.
Oh, then.
I mean, that makes sense.
Even to this day, it's considered bad luck to have a man break the bottle.
Okay, I didn't know that. So
We
reversed.
are very
I'm gonna
progressive
give that.
in the
I was.
wind.
This is why I asked, is because this has been a very progressive 1870s so far. And if you want to break this, I have
You know
no
what?
problem with this, and
No,
I will
you know
not
what?
crash your
I-
airship because a man christened it. So
I want to actually give this to Alice because she did a lot. So I think you should have the honor, if you would like that.
If you hand it to Alice, Alice will put one hand on the top of the bottle and reach out for Ellie to put her hand on it.
Okay, yeah, she'll hold it with her.
okay.
And then she'll kind of do a count for them to let it go together.
And 1, 2, 3, smash. Who says what?
Let's go die.
The ship is now called the Let's Go Die, apparently.
Oh shit! Is that how that works?
Hey, none of us know what we're doing.
No, none of us
Nobody's
know. I
sailors
just,
here.
The characters.
you smash and you go, I christen thee bleu.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Jet just named our ship the Let's Go Die.
No, well,
Well,
you
actually, I
would
think
know
from our
that-
perspective, what happened is Jet goes, "Let's go die." Oh, well.
Ah damn! I forgot that's how that works.
What I done? You hear
Did I do that?
Two bottles? Do we just have the one? Can we do this again? Or what?
ink is moving on the side of the boat.
Well, I was gonna save this. I was gonna save this one if we survived, but here.
No, it's fine. Yeah. it's-
That sums up how it
wait.
functions.
Yep.
This is how Baptiste settles this silliness with
Oh
this.
no.
You're gonna shoot the bottle? Yep. Yeah.
Nope. He shoots the rope. We're free.
There we go.
Yep.
Good.
Loose
you guys
now.
are floating.
Perfect.
There's Lucius here standing there with another bottle ready to break it, but apparently now it's a celebratory launch bottle.
All right, let's
The two ladies have got glass shrapnel, bits of glass and champagne foam on their hands.
I
The
didn't
ship
shoot
is-
the bottle. I shot the rope.
No, they
That's
broke the
when we
bottle when they
smashed it.
christened the ship.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And with a bang, you guys are off.
Yep.
The boat lifts and starts to move forward on the wind before you even start the engines.
it does occur to me, has any of us, I was a cavalryman myself, has anybody here sailed on the water, let alone the sky?
Nope.
You see Jet's hand slowly go up.
Well,
What?
I believe that out of a sense of pure pragmatism would mean the ship is yours, Captain Jet.
Can we find a captain hat for him, please?
Why, I just happen to have a narrative captain hat.
It's on top of my cowboy hat.
Yeah. And it's too small, so it just
Just kind of like sits there.
But there's this moment, I assume you like clap me on the shoulder when you say that, and then there's just kind of dispersing, and I'm just standing there like, I was a bird. This is not the, damn.
Oh no, you'll be fine. Remember, this is a very small ship. We can still hear you muttering to yourself.
we're like 2 feet away. Like,
Are we all like huddled in on this? How big
This,
is
this
Social
was,
distancing, Captain.
yeah. Just as an aside, I like the phrase physical distancing just because when you do a spoonerism with it, it's distical fisticing, which is hysterically funny.
It's also what you say when you've been drinking too much.
Yeah.
anyway,
So we are afloat, Jet. They have left you at the helm, except it's not a helm because these two just slapped it together this afternoon. There's a place where some ropes come together, and one rope goes this way, and one rope goes this way, and they go through pulleys and they go to the back. That's all you know.
Y'all made this.
you raised your hand.
Because I have experience. I didn't mean I knew how to. He said, "Does anybody ever flown?" And I'm like, "Yes, I have flown." Come up here and tell me what these ropes do.
You are now.
Must have anybody ever been on a ship before?
You're almost up to that big rope, that 6-foot cable. You're almost up to that. So you look down, all of you. You're almost 200 feet off the ground. In a hollow frame, hanging under a balloon being blown by the wind, and someone in charge who has just told you he doesn't know how the ropes work.
Shit. Okay.
That sounds like a guts check to me.
Anybody that feels like they should can please do so.
You
yes.
know what? Let's see if the dice.
I don't often ask my my characters for throw up rolls, but yeah.
No, I want to do this.
Airsick.
I want to do this.
You might be the first airsick people in North America. The French were flying balloons by this point, but
I am not gonna make a check because I know that if I fall out of this balloon, I'm just gonna turn into a bird.
no, it's yeah. So yeah, you're literally not scared. Miss Alice.
Yep.
Maybe it's because all them cigarettes you're not used to smoking. They kind of had you all churny. You didn't have any
I haven't
breakfast.
had any special occasions in a long time. Okay.
But you find yourself holding onto the seat and violently evacuating yesterday's dinner.
Ellie sees that she like turns like green, so she's gonna hold her hair back.
After the fact, Alice says, "Oh dear."
Don't worry, Miss Alice. There's no. I'm sure nobody saw.
I want to hear this because what I'm imagining is, oh dear.
And then how many seconds would it take?
She's not going to ruin another purse over this.
Oh please! I just
about 4.5 to 5 seconds later, you hear the as it hits the ground.
Miss Alice violently wharfs. Baptiste just leans over to Lucy and says, "She's an amazing woman." And sounded like Bill Clinton for some reason. That accent really got away from me there. I'm sorry.
It sounded upsetting.
I'm just going to go up to take. Okay, yeah.
We now need to change Sarah's name is now Monica. Or no, not Sarah. Alice's name is now Monica. But it's okay.
Woo, okay.
So, Jet, they are all otherwise engaged. It's you and some ropes.
Well,
what skill do you think, out of that list of skills that you've got there, how would Jet, the shaman cowboy, deal with flying this thing?
What would be the equivalent of... I'm not going to yank the damn thing, but what would be the equivalent of, I'm going to pull this, see what happens a little bit, I'm going to pull this, see what happens a little bit, and then adjust accordingly?
That makes so much sense that there's no need to roll. It's a little confusing because this is what actually happened when they first tried to rig these things. Everything's backwards. You pull down, the blimp rises. You pull left, the blimp goes right. You pull right, the blimp goes left.
Inverted controls.
I was just gonna say, did we put? Can we switch it?
And there's no menu anywhere that allows you to invert the X and Y axes.
I'm literally just muttering. I'm just like, I think they're so smart, can't even do it the right way. God, pulling, just adjusting, whatever.
Now you can give me a cognition check. There's something I want to see if you figure out.
I don't know why I can't seem to find that. What is that under?
Top left.
There it is.
It is a class itself. It's a trait,
There
cognition. So there's a cognition of 5. With the wind behind it, this thing, and that's where the control surfaces are, this thing is really difficult to fly. It wants to turn around and face the wind.
Can we do that and like just go backwards?
You can certainly try.
I mean, if it
I'm
makes
sure glad
sense.
you don't have to give Matt Mercer 5 cents every time you say that, because
yeah, I guess I'll just be like, well, maybe, and I'll just pull everything hard one way.
give
turn us
me
around.
try to spin it around. Give me a deafness, or are you trying to? What other skill would you use?
I'm okay with deafness.
Yeah, okay. Give me just a straight deafness. See if you can cowboy your way out of this. You start to turn it, and then the wind grabs this thing, and it just.
Well, hold hell!
Yeah, you guys. I mean, especially near the back, you are rotating around. The horses are whinnying and freaking out. I mean, they're 200 feet up too. So
Not
they're
fancy.
also not happy. Yeah,
Not fancy.
But Fancy's not making a noise, but she is giving you stink eye. You are making
Rebecca
me be
is
a
using
lady.
her hooves to hold Fancy's mane back.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ellie's gonna like fall on Alice because they're still right next to each other. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, there's no puddle to fall in because you took the floor out, so you're looking down at all this nothing. And Jet, you are now facing into the wind, being forced backwards. It's easier to steer now.
Yeah,
But you're going that way.
Yeah,
Like, you can keep it straight real easy now that the wind's blowing over the fins.
Was that the plan?
yeah. Why don't y'all poke a hole back there in the side and just look? Or actually, it's just a frame. Y'all keep an eye out. Make sure we're not gonna hit nothing. You know, in the vastness that is the ocean.
I navigate.
Is anybody going to start the engines?
I will.
Well,
I don't even know that they.
they're
exist.
designed to
No,
fly
you don't.
forward.
Only-
Yeah, we're using the wind, I guess. We're conserving fuel, really.
All right. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what,
Correct.
we're already in prime position to use. We can just use the engines to come back. We're already facing the right direction for when we come back.
The blimp is backing out into the Pacific Ocean.
There's a weird beeping sound. That we can't pick out.
Oh God! I hope
There's
that I'm glad
one
that didn't rustle
tiny,
the big daddies.
One tiny bird sitting on the back, and as you back out into the ocean, it just keeps going beep, 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 beep.
What do I need?
God awful noise.
Do I roll for not running into something 300 feet in the sky?
You can pretty much just walk around and look.
Improbability
You guys
roll.
are well up. You're even above the rope now, so you are well and truly flying.
Okay.
Jet, give me another deafness to see if you can if you have any control over the vertical at all. Not much. You feel the problem you've got right now is, like all new drivers, you overcorrect. You don't know that yet, but you try and go down a little bit, and all of a sudden the whole thing's diving towards the foam, and then we gotta go up. No, wait a minute, that's down. You're porpoising along as you go backwards, porpoising along towards the nearest island. Yeah, Miss Alice, you're lucky you're empty.
If you could please get a handle on the situation.
It would appear we're rolling on the coast.
Look, y'all put
roller
this
coasting
upside down and backwards.
Ew.
Just cursing and muttering along up front, just like.
Yep. And those of you that are
luckily we only have to go like half a mile.
Yeah, you're holding on, get your arms wrapped around stuff. The horses are not pleased. The water and the food is all bouncing around as it tries to gain some control. But those of you that are not actively trying to fly this thing, you can see the landmass that you're starting to approach. And some of you are seeing for the first time with your own eyes what Jet told you about or showed some of you, the trails of garbage. There's the broken cart that is there right at the end of the large tripod. And then there's these twin trails of garbage that go along both sides of the path that these huge carts left behind them. And from what Jet told you and from when some of you were here, that's mostly garbage, but there's also some bodies. And it appears to just be the waste of all these people in all these carts. They're just chucking off the sides as they go. And that's what you're backing into. Jet, you're way too high. Way too high. You're going to go right over this and right out to sea.
I was going to say, don't tell me how to handle my substances.
Actually, that
out of all the people in this room that could probably give you advice.
If we are much higher than what we were expecting to be, I actually want to try to take a look out and see, are there any other points of interest, something that looks like it might be a settlement or a plume of campfire smoke, something like that.
Absolutely. Give me a scrutinize or a searching, because what you're looking for both would work.
My scrutinize is better.
Scrutin. You only screwed a 3. That's a better scrut.
I said better, not good.
Yeah. Alice, yeah. Ellie pulls your hair back. Your head comes up.
Look, it was just the initial.
Yeah. Getting used to it. Oh yeah. It's that's how. You're lucky, because some people will stay seasick the whole time they're on the boat. Sometimes for days. It must be horrible. But this passes for you, and it was difficult to see, and I get why Baptiste didn't see it. But there is a pale, just a little wisp of smoke, not on this island, but on the next one. The next big one, like I told you, they kind of look like footprints going out into the ocean.
Yeah.
The next big island you can see from up here, and from towards the far end of it, there's this thin wisp of smoke. It doesn't look like a big fire, or maybe it used to be a fire and now it's almost out.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. But to be seen from this distance, it was pretty big.
I'll
and Baptiste, you see Baptiste looking in the wrong direction.
Baptiste, look there.
Look at that.
There's a small wisp of smoke off that way. It might have used to have been a fire, but possibly now going out.
Yeah, so damn smart. And Alice says, she says, y'all usually give me a hard time for this, but this is quite an opportunity. And she goes and starts setting up her camera, and she pulls it out, and she's trying to find a good shot.
I mean, if you drop, you do your thing.
You better invent the wrist strap real quick.
For a 30-pound camera, that way it takes it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way you can worry about your arm coming off, not the camera.
Yeah.
Miss Alice, what do you want to take a picture of? Because below you is like beige on pale blue, and you do not yet have the ability to shoot in color.
Well, so I guess what I will do is kind of wait and line up my shot, so that when we get close enough to a piece of land, that I can get some land in.
So like a chunk with the sides sort of sinking down into this mist.
Yeah.
One of those sort of Ansel Adams, except with water at the bottom pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I just want to
God,
know.
I love Ansel Adams. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah.
One of that.
Now, we knew that they had headed this way, and while this is a particularly large island we're over now, perhaps, I mean, if we stay, my understanding from, folding up little piece. Oh, God. Sorry, Ryan just froze up. Did they have paper airplanes before airplanes? Did anybody ever make an airplane?
Continue this scene. I will look that up because I want to know now.
My understanding from throwing rocks real hard is that if we stay higher, we can go further, faster. So perhaps we stay a little higher than what I think we were supposed to be, and make our way over to that campfire there. I mean, it's the first interesting thing we've seen up here.
We're gonna have to cut the guard rope then.
You mean the rope that I shot?
No, the one that's keeping us on the big rope.
Okay, no, so Ryan
didn't hook that up.
Yeah, we didn't hook that up.
Yeah, no.
This is all you, dude. It's all you.
We are free float
Well then.
This is about to become a sci-fi space adventure if we don't do something in the next 20 minutes.
There's some very serious Jules Verne vibe should be coming off of this.
Yeah.
We do have a way of coming back down, right? Like we just.
Yeah,
the short answer is yes. There are paper airplanes.
Yeah. But I mean, look, that's just Miss Alice is the one that found it. But perhaps that wisp of smoke, the first sign of something, might be what we go to instead of landing here for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Alice says as she's looking through her camera, waiting for her moment.
Chat says that Da Vinci made models out of paper. So
yeah, I just looked it up. Actually, they said they've had gliders since Da Vinci, so I would assume so.
Chat.
Thank you, Hello, our research assistant extraordinaire. They're the ones I believe they're the ones that did the timeline for us.
True Shadowmancer said chimed in too.
Yeah,
grabbed a research
2,000 years ago in China. Yeah.
Well, from my understanding of ancient Chinese schoolboy, I'm gonna just trail off with my accent because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Origami, it makes sense, right? Somebody would have done it. So
that does make sense.
Anyway.
Well, we are gonna need an anchor, and I've got my lasso pulled out, and I was like, so who's gonna be the anchor?
Whoa!
Wait. Did we perfectly balance this ship that the weight of a single horse would be heavy enough to bring us down?
No, not Rebecca, please.
No, just a horse on the ship with us would be heavy enough to bring us down.
Oh.
Game Master's shaking his head, yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah,
all right.
I mean, it's helium, so it's all counterweights. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we had a conversation about it. Once we get closer, I have an idea. We'll see if it works.
Look, Jet, I need you to focus on not killing us.
Listen to me.
In the meantime,
either
Captain.
You gotta understand. Either Dawn came and shut your door, or you have a ghost in your house.
Oh, Dawn shut the door.
Okay.
That's what he was. Okay.
Oh God.
No, you.
That was Rebecca.
Rebecca was like, "You needed me? Oh, not yet. No. Okay. All right."
Yeah, I thought that was your accent leaving the room.
Trust me, the accent's been all over the room tonight.
Ask me about accents on Thursday. I can't stay in that one for love or money.
Jet, maybe you focus on not killing us in the meantime, and we'll figure out.
So, give me a picture-taking roll.
All right.
So you can burn a bunch of chips to make this doable.
Hey.
Oh, too real.
It's.
I'm not gonna lie. I really thought, and as you're setting this up to put it more in character, Jet's gonna be like, Oh, are you getting us a map ready? That's pretty useful. I didn't even think about that.
She says, well, I can when I'm done with this amazing shot.
Meanwhile, you're looking through here all zoomed in, trying to get the shadows right.
Yeah.
14. It's not bad. You can tell. It's not bad. It is good. It's probably like newspaper quality.
What's a blue chip again?
Roll an ad.
I mean,
this has turned into a thing. You have burned. I think. Have you burned chips on anything else
No.
other than photography?
No.
Wonderful.
This is my thing, man.
Yep.
Yeah, remember that time that Ellie almost died? Not a single chip.
She didn't die.
It was just a train, Ryan. Don't make a big deal out of it.
God.
It was just a train and a devil that landed on me.
Only
You weren't
one
even
leg.
there. You don't even know.
One leg, yeah, crushed.
2 legs.
Well, 2 legs
both-
crushed and a devil laying on your face.
Yeah,
with
I got
no
a
shirt
devil
on, so
smashed
that's
one
never
leg,
going
and then
away.
a train landed on the other.
Well, that's just a good Tuesday night.
I was
That
gonna
was a
say,
fun time.
what I just heard from Kevin was the devil sat on my face.
Basically, the devil laid on her, so it was.
Yeah.
Not
Out of
not
all
making
the
it better.
traumatic things that have happened to
So I
Ellie,
got a
think that one's
25
still-
if you add up all
Yeah, I
this.
know. We're looking. I'm getting to this. I'm putting the picture together in my head. I finally got it. I knew I had to figure out what made it special. So you've got from the bottom up, there's sort of that hazy mist down on the bottom that forms this weird like cloud top background that makes everything sort of unknown depth. And then coming out of that is these nearly vertical rock walls of the side of these little islands. And then this sharp 90-degree demarcation in the flat top. You're still looking down on that. And just as you push the button, a little cloud had floated in just to give it that little third dimension. And this tiny bit of shadow just hits the edge and down the side like a Salvador Dali melted clock. And you're like, there it is. Bam.
And Alice, like, she gets excited and, like, does a thing where she, like, hits her camera and it shakes and she's like, ah! And she, like, grabs it.
Just
And
about
she-
loses it, yeah.
and she's
And
just,
slam the shutter shut. But that was a
Damn.
normal picture, right?
huh?
Was that a normal picture,
Yeah.
or was that your
Well, that's what I was
final...
going to say. She says, damn, I wish I had a ghost steel daguerreotype plate.
And you take that picture out and put it in your backpack. That one's
Yeah.
going to be special. When
Yeah,
you do
she's
it.
not gonna she can't process it right now. She's not
Not
gonna
up to
process it on a ship.
No. So, what I heard was we're going to continue flying? Captain?
Apparently, I don't think I have much choice.
Where are you flying to? Where are you attempting to steer this thing?
I guess over to because they directed me and said they wanted to go over to the island with the smoke. So yeah, I'll just
Okay.
kind of adjust and try to get us over
Absolutely. Give me another.
there. Definitely.
Have you got sleight of hand? No? Okay. I'm trying to figure out a way to give you a deafness, but with a bit of an advantage. But I don't want to give you like shooting. That's like 5 dice.
You could give me lasso and is a 3, but my deafness is already a 3.
I mean,
so-
he's pulling on ropes.
Yeah, so if either one's the same, you start to treat this like you're lassoing something instead of like you're fighting 2 ropes that are trying to kill you. So give me a lassoing instead. It's the same number, but maybe you'll do better. Well, not really. You get moving in that direction, but the back, which you're still going backwards, and the back starts to drop, and you start to correct, but it's like it's gone too far. So you guys are now having to kind of hold on because the floor's coming up. And you're starting to really move because the wind is catching the balloon.
Jet!
Hey, whoa, hey.
Am I able to go over and like help him? Just kind of be like, what do you need me to?
Absolutely. Yep. Okay, what do you
Deafness?
need me to do? Give me a cognition test as you try to figure out what he's doing wrong.
I'm so mad that neither of the 2 people that designed this fucking thing.
Cognition is 6. All I'll give you for that is he's panicking. Like, he's just
All right.
Looks like a cop directing three-dimensional traffic.
So basically,
at an intersection only he can see.
Alice sees Jet struggling, and then she sees Ellie go over and be like, and so Alice is like, okay, and she's gonna try to correct course here.
How are you doing that? You just gonna go up and start grabbing the ropes, or what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I built it. I helped build it.
Yep. So you know, well, yeah. I know people that build airplanes; they can't fly them.
So I imagine I know how
you
the
at least know how the system works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us. Well, okay. So give me. In that case, you built it. Give me a knowledge check.
All right. Just straight knowledge.
Do you have a science that would be more specific to it?
No. Straight knowledge is fine. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I might. But...
An 11. You get it stable, like you get it back to flat, but you're still just sort of at the whim of the wind.
Yeah.
Sam, Lesmax, what would you like to do?
That was my only goal anyway. So.
Lucius is his name. It's the specs. Yeah. They got me screwed up.
I will.
Oh man, those and the top hat.
You want me to wear the top hat? It's always here. Anyway,
I'm all good. What are we doing?
I'm trying to check. I could try an engineering, perhaps. I don't know if that will help.
Of course it will. Yeah, absolutely. Do me an engineering.
Ryan, you are muted.
I've been watching too many dog videos. Do me an engineering. 11. Okay, you know, you guys have suffered enough. All right. Lucius, you see what they're doing, and you realize that it's this overcorrection problem that they've got. So you scurry up into the rigging and very quickly change the size of the pulleys that they're using. Switch them out for bigger ones so that the slower reactions. It's also easier for them. It's a little more difficult for them to pull, but it's an easier way to control. So that will give them the control that they need to get this thing stable. Exactly.
I think I got it.
Yeah, he slithers back down into the gondola.
Are those two Are those two tangled up, like holding the ropes and stuff?
All three of you are sort of wrestling with this rope apparatus now.
I would have stepped back with those two coming up, and if they've got their hands full and they're busy, I'm just gonna be like, oh no, uh-oh, the hat's coming, oh no, it's on Alice's head, get crazy, right? And then I'm gonna back.
What the hell? Alice. What the hell, Jet? And she almost lets go, and for a second to grab him, and she's like, "Oh!"
And Ellie almost gets flung off the side as the tension gets taken up. Yeah, the thing starts to twist to the side again.
You could have at least not put. You didn't have to put the hat on backwards. You could have at least put it on facing the right way.
Captain's hat on backwards.
Well, we're driving the damn ship backwards, so why the hell not?
Yeah, you're actually right. The hat is going in the right direction. It's the rest of you that are going backwards.
Oh, Lord.
So
it's opposite day.
Should we try to whip this thing around and start the engines up, or I don't know what my accent is doing here. I'm having a Ryan moment here with the accent
at the West Coast. Yeah.
God.
A magic hat that is always in the same direction as the ship is oriented.
A comp hat.
Crazy. Anyway, oh my god, a compass hat.
Yeah,
but it's built in the top, so you can't see it yourself
while you look at the front of the ship. Will always be oriented in the direction of the ship.
But so you
just described is a hat.
Yes,
a hat.
What you need is a halfling with a compass on its head, so you can just walk up and look down and see which direction north is.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Anyway, you don't have one of those.
We're just about over that smoke now. Funny enough.
Funnily enough, you almost are.
Can I quickly tinker that?
I do.
Water, magnet, a needle, the classic like science.
Oh, you want to make a compass? You can make a compass. Yeah, probably.
Do you
not
have
when
to
you're
be
flying
doing?
through the air.
Can you? Do you have to do that right now? Can we?
If it helps, is all I'm saying.
It's not going. I feel like it's not going to help.
It's stressful, isn't it?
Shut up, Jet! I need a damn cigarette.
I was going to say,
like
Jet's
having-
at the deck having a smoke.
Baptiste whistles, and Rebecca appears on the boat. And we start going down.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So you guys are steering.
She
it
comes
in
out
and
from behind the rope.
I feel like this is Alice's original accent's coming out because she's getting frustrated. This is like,
Yeah. Rebecca walks up from behind a pole this wide, just, and as more of her comes out, you start to sink more quickly. And Baptiste, you realize, because this was a brilliant idea, you can use her as a slider. Yeah. What percentage of her is on the boat will determine how much you go up and down.
Well, and that is why, for generations to come, the amount of weight on an airship is known as horsepower.
Yeah. It may be slightly confused in the coming
Cabin.
decades. Yeah.
Lord of mercy.
And with
Okay,
adjusting-
can we
I
get
have a
on with the
headache.
show?
I've been laughing so much this episode.
With
I have a
your
headache.
adjustable, okay, one more line. With your adjustable horse, you bring the Jules Verne airship, the Comedy Miriam, to a rough and tumble landing on its wheels. It kind of lands. You're still moving, so it kind of lands and keeps rolling, kind of. And then you apply the brakes that nobody told me you built, but I'm sure you did.
They're there. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Through the
It's in the
sand.
blueprint, clearly.
Oh yeah, yeah. it was done.
Jet, you receive a message. Shall I stop?
Yes, please. That was.
And
Oh.
the wind coming offshore stops, and now you become aware that there is the natural wind on the west coast, comes off the ocean.
Was that Raven, or was that a different entity?
Give me your test, whatever your ability is. I always forget which one it is.
I
Guts or
think I
faith?
used Spirit.
Spirit, that's the one, yeah.
Make a spigot check.
It seemed to be her.
Oh, all right.
Those were her wings, yeah.
Seemed.
Seemed. It's the best word. If you, this is my free advice to all DMs and game masters and narrators everywhere. Seems is your new favorite word.
Oh boy.
And with that, it is night. Thank you very much. So yes, you're right. So as you guys drift towards this tiny red spot and this little lightly bit piece of fire, you skid to a stop. It's exactly plot o'clock. It's always plot o'clock in my games. I hate keeping track of time. But
I get
the
as
cart
we're
skids to a
landing.
stop. The wind
Oh.
stops. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as we're landing, Alice will be like, "Jet, least you can do is hold on to them big daddies. Make sure they don't blow us all up."
Hey, I'm just standing to the side, cradling them all. And we hit a particular bump, and one of them like falls out. I'm like, oh, no, we're good. So good.
And with that, as it comes to a stop, and Rebecca steps all the way out from behind the post, thus acting as a physical weight anchoring the ship to the ground. And you guys lock the wooden wheels against the wooden tires and look out and see. You got fairly close, maybe sort of a quarter of a mile away. There's a small fire. It's quite long.
Back up.
It's kind of a long, low fire. It's not a campfire, you can tell from this distance. It's probably 100 feet long. And between you and it, there's a row of barrels. Like there's 20 barrels and then 15 barrels and then 10 barrels. Just the 3 rows.
Oh, are those splodies?
And we'll find out if those are splodies. Do you trust a demo tech who refers to his stuff as splodies?
That's a cute little name for something that'll kill
It's a
you.
big
And he wears
daddies.
bunny ears on his suit. His big green death suit. With
Alice
bunny
walks
ears.
in the other direction and lights up a cigarette.
Now, in certain circles, that is the technical term.
Yes, indeed. So let's encircle a break, and we will be back in 20 minutes and see what exactly is behind this wall of
Bottle.
barrels.
You tear that label off that bottle, my friend. Because you got something to celebrate. These kids ain't dead yet. They made it all cray across one chasm, landed down on some solid ground. I don't even believe it. Marshal Kevin, can you believe it?
I can believe almost anything. And luckily enough, I had the second island prepared for this evening.
Got that going for
So
it.
we're
Let's see.
fine. We're fine. Here it comes.
The second island's full of aliens that we never fought. For some
Yes,
reason.
just two of them. A1 and B2. I was really proud of their names. They were A1 and B2. Anyway, they're not here. No, their friend C3 had escaped. Come on. And he was angry. He was really PO'd. Okay, I really will stop now. Back here on this island, you guys have skidded to a stop a couple 100 yards away from this long, low, banked fire. It's that kind of white color that's been burning for a long time. It's down to coals. A true barbecue person knows this is
That's what I
when
was
you
gonna
put
ask.
Yeah, this is when you put the meat on. This is the universal hot coals. And in front of it, like I said, there's that pile of about 20 barrels with 15 and then 10 above that.
That's right. And Baptiste might not know that, but Ryan knows that that's when you make it because Ryan's from around Kansas City. Screw you, Texas and Carolinas. So is there a roll that I can make to see if these we're going to glaze over it. Is there something I can do to see if this looks familiar, these stacked barrels and stuff, not from a military standpoint?
There's enough spaces between them. They're not piled like that. It looks like, for all the world, like someone has made basically like a windbreak out of them.
Oh,
So my demolition roll
help with the
basically
fire.
tells me nothing.
Yeah. Your demolition roll, though.
I was
Nothing
trying
is
to-
blown up here.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out, if this was an explodey thing, as Jet likes to say.
What?
It was not splody.
What did Alice paint the name Maria on? Was it the balloon or was it the
Miriam, but
Miriam.
Sorry,
You
Miriam.
can't read. It's
Oh
big
yeah, that's
secret.
a I and an A.
yeah, there you go.
Was that on the balloon or on the ship? Itself.
Well, traditionally with blimps, it's on the name is on the balloon.
Yeah. Okay. So, if Marshal Kevin will allow me this, I step out.
I'm pretty good with this.
And I just absentmindedly look up, and it's like I just look, and then I do a double take, and in intricate beadwork in italics underneath it, it says Miriam, comma, let's go die, like real little up under it.
In
And I'm
your
just like-
head.
I just like look down, and like nope.
Look what you've
Maybe-
done.
Maybe
Look
they
at your
won't.
shame.
Maybe they won't notice.
Maybe
It's really
instead,
nice
maybe instead of
beadwork.
Miriam, we should have named it Barium.
The only thing I learned from chemistry is that francium explodes when it's in water. That's the only thing I got out of chemistry in high school.
Oh.
Calcium.
Also calcium. Francium, does
Calcium
it too.
gets incredibly fizzy when you put it in water.
That's
Yeah.
why your bones will explode in water.
Or sodium. Sorry, sodium. That's the
That's
one.
why a
Thank
soda
you.
will explode in water.
Yeah.
I can do this all night. Well, I mean, it doesn't look
At this
as though
level, I can understand that.
those are not
yeah.
set up to be munitions of any kind. I mean, I honestly think that those barrels are set up for whatever fire it is that they have going on. It doesn't seem to be a threat, at least not that I can tell.
Do you know why someone would have a fire like this?
Well, I mean, it's really good for making barbecue, but other than that, I have no idea.
That's a lot of barbecue.
Well, they have an entire city's worth of people.
True. That's still a lot of damn barbecue.
Why is the phrase "that's a lot of barbecue" making me laugh so hard?
Because it's that kind of night.
It's been a week. Yeah. It's been in April.
And having
Ugh.
I'm
determined
reining it in.
that this isn't a splody, Alice says that's a lot of damn barbecue.
So it is night, and this fire is, it's fairly low and banked. Give me scrutinize checks while you look over in that general direction.
I knew it was coming, so I had it up.
The cigarette gives me superpowers.
Everybody but...
Ellie found a rock.
Yeah, Ellie found a really nice rock. Everybody else sees...
This is a surprise.
Figures moving over by the fire.
What moves?
What?
Figures, people.
Oh, figures.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it is the middle of the night. Oh shit, Marshal Kevin.
Hmm.
Can I see them? Well, Baptiste figures he's able to. This is the first time in game that I've had this been able to come up. I look over there expecting to be able to see them perfectly fine.
What?
You see them like everybody else does.
These damn things don't work anymore. Oh, okay. Huh.
Alice is just smoking her cigarette, staring at Baptiste like...
I mean, all I do is look over them and then get a weird look on his face. Like, that's all
look on his face, yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, there are people, at least a few, moving around over by the fire. And it is the middle of the night, so there might be a lot more there. They might be sleeping. You don't know.
So they probably saw us land this giant fucking blimp, right?
I mean, it was night, but yeah, probably.
It's not like we're particularly sneaky.
Nope, you weren't quiet. You weren't small.
And, I mean, that's not an entire city full of people. So this is either scragglers or deserters or someone else who's maybe seeing what it is that's going on. Perhaps we just go and...
I think I would go say hello.
Yeah.
Is there this is super important. Is this island kind of like deserty, or is it like got vegetation, or is it like, because
all of these islands are salt flats. There is nothing. There's not a shrub. There's not a puddle.
Jet is convinced they're cannibals in the back of his brain. I don't know why. There's just something I'm like, they gonna eat you. That's what's gonna happen. If we go over there, they're gonna eat us.
I mean,
I feel like that might be a bit presumptuous.
Yeah.
I got a feeling in my bones. It's probably wrong, but I'm just letting you know.
Well, then you stay here.
So you can get eaten?
Well, I think perhaps maybe we should, let's tie our dirigible down, but why don't we all head that way? So
Alice looks back and says, had somebody not already done that?
Oh, look, there it goes. Oh, well, we're stuck here.
Tie my dirigible down, boy. Tie my dirigible down. Yeah, okay.
Technically, you could fly for it, couldn't you, if that happened?
I could, but I mean...
Dirigible blowing inland with this crow chasing behind it.
Yeah, well, while everybody stands around being funny, I start tying the thing down.
Let's tie it down.
You tie it down, and you hear out of the darkness a voice says, "Have you got any food?"
See, Jet, they ask if we have food, not if we are food.
Yeah, because if you say no, they're going to be like, well, we're going to take your hands.
We were hoping that you might be able to tell us what's going on and help us out, actually.
We can tell you everything we know.
How many of you are there?
52.
Well, that's not a small amount.
That's a lot.
Y'all eat people.
Rude.
No, we can wait for somebody else, though.
How they think we're cannibals.
Damn straight. Y'all stay on your side.
What is with you today?
How long have y'all been here? My accent is coming out. How long have y'all been here?
11 days.
What is it? Wait, hold on. Why don't we come to you in just a moment?
Yeah, get it tied up and head forward. As you get closer to the fire, you can see that this is, they have built this basically a windbreak out of these barrels. If you ask, the barrels are full of wheat. They're seed. And the
So I'm
you're
sorry.
walking in, yeah.
Do you have a? Is there somebody in charge here?
I guess that's probably me, Peter.
That's always a good sign.
Peter A. Smith.
Well, Mr. A. Smith, how is it that you find yourself out here stranded all alone? I would hazard a guess. Do you have anything to do with the large mechanical traveling city?
We used to. That one, you saw the broke one, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The one back there, yeah. They took everybody off that one and put them on the other ones, but there wasn't quite enough room.
So they just left you here?
Yeah. And
Two
at this point, you
questions.
sort of get closer to everybody else, and you look around, and the people here are they're not prime specimens. There's older people. There's people that don't look like they could lift or work very hard. There's they were left behind because they are the weakest of
Survival of the
quietly, so that the new people don't hear, but just to just this group. I'm pretty sure this is the dead weight ballast.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a couple of very important questions for you, Peter. First of all, I mean, an entire city following just one man. Did you do so completely willingly? And did you find yourself feeling differently after he got so far away?
It was, you didn't know until he left us, and then it was just gone. And when he's not here, it all seems kind of stupid.
Secondly, there's a small group of people that I wonder if you remember seeing or what they were up to, but I believe this man might be the better one to talk to, and sort of just like point to get Peter to talk to Lucius.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, Peter. Did you see the Glories by any chance, or the Silvers families?
Oh, they were all up way at the front in the nice carts.
The nice carts.
Yeah, the nice ones are at the front, and then the not so nice ones are at the middle, and then the really bad ones are at the back. That way the people at the front don't have to smell all the shit.
Some kind of strange ranking system. So do they get special treatment, the nicer ones?
Of course. They're closer to him. Oh, that sounds so weird. It's like I said it automatically.
How could they be closer? You knew the Glories. They hated him.
Oh, no one hates him now.
What happened? What changed?
The sermon.
What sermon?
He gave a sermon at the church, and everyone just... It was amazing. It was like we were filled with energy and we could do anything.
So besides him speaking, did he seem any different from usual?
Bigger, more powerful, stronger, more godlike, more amazing. Oh,
Can
I almost just walked off the side of this to go and get to him.
Can I do an occult check of some sort?
Oh, you sure can.
Not too shabby.
Too shabby. Yeah. You got an inkling for sure, Baptiste, but Lucius, you yeah, I just had to pause for a second. Baptiste, you would probably see this in terms of almost like a mass possession, what he's done. Lucius, you can see it as a well, your father, I know how to do this. Your father at funerals, the actual service themselves, where he stood at the front and ushered everyone to their seats, there was a dignity about him that caused people to follow him that was borderline magical. People would come to him and just they've lost their loved ones. They're emotionally distraught. And by the time he walks them from the door to the front seat and sits them down, they're calm. You get the impression this is like that cranked to 100. This is absolutely a magical effect that has reached into people's minds and caused them to believe things they would not otherwise believe. Unbelievably invasive.
I looked at Baptiste and whispered, and I say, I think my speculation was right. This isn't a normal means at all.
There's some type of, whether it's divine or he's made some sort of deal, or who knows, maybe he's gotten himself a hold of a very, very special Hoyle card, but yeah.
Is there... So what's next? Can we help these people? Should we push on? What do we do at this point?
I mean, I'm certainly one that thinks that charity might not be a bad idea, but at the same time, there's 50 people here. Most of them, even in a city, wouldn't survive too much longer. I mean,
and it seems like
there is anything we can do.
And it seems like the grasp is still kind of reaching, even if not fully.
Staying to help or bringing them with us might be dangerous.
Yes, I agree. I just wish we could do something or send help. Because now we know that if they were away from him, they'd get out of this trance of sorts. So they'd...
Meanwhile, the other three, or the other two, I guess, the three of you were involved in that. So, Jet and Ellie, are you hanging out and listening to this conversation, or I just asked because you've been really quiet?
I mean, I'm over there just kind of listening. I might be a little abashed that I thought they were cannibals. But,
sort of looking at the ground. How about Ellie?
She's just kind of nearby listening.
Okay, so the two of you give me some, you give me to scrutinize. Not like you're really looking around. I just want to see if you notice something.
6s. My 6s are your 9s.
Your 9s.
Oh, man, it's weird.
So yeah, actually, that's 1 success and 2 and almost a third. So, Ellie, you realize the fire as you step a little closer to maybe to warm yourself. You can see shapes in it. It wasn't logs that were burnt. It's books. Thousands and thousands of books. This pile is 100 feet long, 2 feet high. All books. Jet, in the flickering light, you're kind of looking at the ground, feeling shame and hoping that the red fire of the flame covers up the shame on your cheeks. You notice someone has taken a stick and written something in the sand. But it's kind of hard to tell because you've only got this flickering firelight to read it by. But the letters are quite large, and you can tell from where they're located They would have been legible from anybody in the carts going by.
What did how do I have to do to read it? Because, I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to do.
Grab a torch and walk over and sort of walk the pattern would work, something like that.
Yeah, I'll if Ellie and I are both looking at it, I'll kind of walk and, gesture toward it with her.
Even though this is scratched in the sand with a stick, you recognize the stick writing, because it was handwriting. It's the same as on the piece of paper at the original tripod. But this one has 3 sentences on one side, just like the other one did. They are, books are real, fire is real, censorship is a social fiction. And on just below that, written the other way, it looks like it, if it was on a piece of paper, it would be on the other side. It says, there is no governor anywhere.
Turn to Ellie and I'm like, am I too stupid to understand this? Because I don't.
I can't say I can't really say I do it either. I'm guessing whatever it was going on in their heads. I don't know. Books are real, or do you think it has to do with something of they couldn't believe anything on their own? It had to be what he was telling them?
And as she says that, I've been down, and I'm going to try to see if there's any, like if there's a hard cover or something. Essentially, I'm trying to see if these are all different books or if they're all the same book.
Good check. They're all different. So it's not like somebody burned 1,000 copies of the same book.
Right.
It looks like somebody gathered all the books and burned them.
In the name of Pinnacle Right, I will seek out.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to process that. Baptiste, you are in the midst of this conversation with these others, and you realize there's a space in your self somewhere where there's normally a being you don't think about or haven't thought about very much at all, because you've had that being under control for a very long time. So long that you're used to it. But it was weird when your vision didn't work. And it was weird when you didn't, well, when the last time you went to hell, you didn't go into the same form Rebecca did. You have a little look, and that space inside you is gone. It's empty. There's nobody home.
So is this just sort of in the moment while Lucius and Peter are talking, or have we sort of all dispersed and like maybe we're making camp for the we're gonna stay here for the night or something?
Yeah, in my head, that conversation had started, and you said you sort of put the two of them together. And as you take that step back, you've got that moment, that first sort of moment of, okay, things are in control. What the hell happened with my vision?
Okay. So yeah, Peter and Lucius are talking for a little bit, or Lucius, as Chat pointed out like 2 weeks ago.
I personally like it.
I'm actually gonna kind of walk over and wait for a moment until like I see like Jet's messing around with something, one of the logs in the fire. I haven't put it together yet. Messing around with one of the logs in the fire, and I'll walk up and I'll say, Miss Ellie, I do apologize. Do you? I apologize. Do you mind if I borrowed our good deputy here for a few moments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jed, would you mind?
And he's looking down at the words, and I'm like, yeah, it's just a gesture. Like, he holds the torch over it and just like,
And I actually start walking, like, not the direction of the airship, but just into the dark.
Yeah.
And I fall off the edge. just out, like, I mean, half a football field away, like, in the dark. And then he just kind of, like, I mean, if you try to stop him. Sure.
I follow. I mean, I don't know what.
So when we're a good, like, that far away where, there's no one that's gonna overhear or see or anything like that. And, like, right at the edge of how well I can see from the fire that's going on, all like that, I said, you and I have never really talked too much about it, but, well, I assume that you understand my vocation when I was a younger man. Well, I guess I am a younger man now, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I don't know if I can claim to understand it, but understand the ideals, I suppose, behind it.
Well, that's actually why I wanted you to come with me. We have not discussed what this thing, I assume it's a woman, that you have this connection with, a totem or a spirit guide of some type. Raven, I mean, I've at least heard you say that. Whether it's the bird or the platonic idea of, I'm really not sure. Your connection to Raven, it is a deep spiritual one, yes?
Yes.
I think I need something like that around. I mean, Lucius certainly understands the form, the formality, the mechanics. And Miss Alice is something altogether different, wandering into people's mind. And Miss Ellie is, well, seems to be touched by whatever it is that she's able to do. But I think what you and I do is a lot similar than people might think. I know this isn't your belief system, but you still believe in something.
I do.
Would you, and he actually like puts his hands out, would you pray with me?
And you could probably feel him prickle at first. And
it's what I expected.
And there's just this moment of quiet, and then he looks at you and says, I have a lot of respect for you, and I will pray with you. However, I do have to ask because I don't fully understand. And I just kind of gesture behind me. I'm like, all that. I mean, I don't understand what you call God. I don't know if what you call God and what I call God are the same thing. They might be the same thing and they manifest differently. So I will pray with you, but I won't pretend to understand exactly what it is you see. Just like you probably don't fully understand what I see. And he puts his hands in your hands.
And he holds your hands, and Baptiste closes his eyes and like starts praying. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. and he concentrates, and that thing that's not there anymore that he used to tap into to be able to see the way he was trying to see.
Yes.
He grasps for what his faith used to be like before the war started. And he finds like a little kernel of that true faith. And he holds on to that. And when he feels like it's enough, he, with his eyes still closed, looks up and in the direction where he knows that there are people, but there's no light, and opens his eyes.
It's like daytime. Except it's a pale blue light. It's like purity in a liquid light form. And you let that little kernel in, and it just grows to fill the space and starts to strain inside that space, trying to get out, trying to fill the rest of you. For now, it's contained. And you hear very far away and way deep down, I didn't expect that.
Then he'll
and neither did I, by the way. Holy shit. Take a legend chip. It's been like weeks, but take a legend chip. Holy shit.
Oh, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll let go of one of Jet's hands, and he looks at you because you've got a torch, and says, I understand it. I do not understand how things work with you and Raven. I don't understand how things work with Alice and her mind powers. I don't understand how things work with any of yous. But I think I'm starting to remember that understanding is not a requisite for belief. And he takes your torch, if you let it go, and he shoves it down in the salt and puts it out. And he still has hold of one of your hands. And so, like, it's pitch black. But he says, we don't need that light to get back. And leads you back perfectly without a stumble.
Yep, around the cactus and the logs and whatnot that are clearly in the way. And wow, holy cow. Ryan, damn. It takes a lot to surprise me. I've been doing this a very long time. Well done, dude. And I was, part of me was also watching Sarah. I think that is now a picture of Sarah. I think she has replaced herself with a picture.
I am no longer a moving image.
Yep, I think she's on the floor going, what?
That should look crazy.
I did not see that coming. Well done. Thank you. And he leads you back.
Also, neither did I.
Oh, even better. Even better. That just makes my little improv heart happy. So Jet, he leads you through, I mean, you have a lot of things, a lot of abilities, but he leads you through the pitch blackness back to this place.
And yeah, there's just a nod. And I will tell him as a last little way, not parting word, but you know what I mean. As we're getting back, right before we get back to the others, I'm like, all right. Well, you know where I always am when I go to, and he kind of looks off. Pray, and if you ever want to join me, you are welcome to.
Well, Jet, I appreciate it, and I'd be happy to. After all, we're Catholic. It's the Baptists that don't like dancing.
Oh,
With that, you
I
roll
studied
back into
theology,
the-
motherfuckers.
Yeah, it shows, dude. It shows. And I did not, and that shows too.
hey, you hold the hell up. My daddy would. No, I'm kidding.
So back at the campsite, Miss Alice, Miss Ellie, and Lucius, the three of you are standing around with Peter. I assume you've shown them that it's books and the words by now? Okay.
Yes.
Peter sees you looking at the words, and he comes up and he says, Simon left those.
Who's Simon?
Who's Simon?
That's a difficult question. He's on the carts, but he's not supposed to be on the carts. He's not in the ledgers. He doesn't get called for roll, but he's always everywhere. It's like Grimm can't see him or anything he does. Like, he put that in the sand. Every single cart went by and Grimm didn't stop them and make him erase it.
What symbol?
All the words. And the words are, books are real, fire is real, censorship is a social fiction. And on the other side, it says there is no governor anywhere.
So have you seen Simon?
Yeah, he looks like a Sasquatch. He's the hairiest man I've ever seen in my life. There's just a little bit around his eyes. His big beard and hair down to... His arms are all fuzzy. Huge. He's like 6.5 feet tall.
What was his relationship with Father Grimm?
I don't think they have... I don't think Father Grimm can even see him.
Who could?
All the rest of us? Everybody I talk to can see that. You can see it, right? The words?
Mm-hmm.
Has Simon always lived in the city of Lost Angels?
I don't... I've only ever seen him on the carts.
So he only appeared... Did he appear after this sermon that you were speaking of?
That's where I saw him first. It wasn't on the cart. I knew it. Was at the sermon. He was standing way at the back and talking, and people were telling him to shut up.
And so if Father Grimm can't see him, did Father Grimm think they were talking to him?
I don't think he was paying attention much then. He was enraptured, I think is the word he likes to use.
Do you know if anyone tried to tell Father Grimm about Simon?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that they would have, or he would have done something about it.
Or maybe he can't do something about it because he can't take in the information somehow.
Something I don't understand. Have you guys got any food? All we've got is like wheat and water. Can't even make a fire. He didn't even leave us any wood.
Alice kind of looks around. And
there's
the
people
other
like
two.
eating handfuls
Yeah.
of wheat. Yeah.
Alice looks around at the other two and kind of, she kind of pulls them off to the side and she says, we don't have enough food.
Not to feed everyone, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's
Baptiste, where did you come from?
Sorry, I said everyone. I thought we were all back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Out of the darkness, because you've been able to see them for 100 feet. So you're on.
Sorry, I didn't. I didn't mean to
good.
step into a scene I wasn't supposed to be a part of.
No, it wasn't that.
I was looking for a way to slide you guys.
You
back
literally
in, so,
came out of the dark. Like, oh my god.
Oh, hi.
So there, yeah.
Now we might not be able to give them our food. I mean, we could give them some. There's grandmothers and sick children. I mean, we have plenty. Well, not plenty. We have some, but these are salt flats. They have wheat. They have some water. They have a low and slow fire source. Now, if the two of you could construct some sort of tinkered up mill, I mean, flour, salt, water, they could at least make small tortillas or something. I mean, it's subsistence, but at least
it would be something.
We gotta help. We gotta help them at least. We can't just leave them all.
I mean, we could just, if we like dig a hole, line it with something, attach a rock to the bottom of a stick, and then the piece of wood comes out. It could then be something that you walk and push around like a mill. That'd be fairly simple.
I mean, he also has 13 pounds of tinkering stuff. I mean, I'm sure that you are going to make a very fantastic spring-loaded knife/bolero, but maybe you could just make a couple of hand mills for him.
I'm sure I could do something. It was armor, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Well, this is more important.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, the other question is, I mean, once we figured out what we were doing, it took us an hour to get here. How many could we take with us? How many trips would it take to put them back in the city?
I was thinking the same thing.
20 to 30.
20 to 30. I mean, it's tiring work, but that's 3 or 4 days at most.
Well, now, what if...
I said there was less than 60 people here, and your thing had rowing seats for 30, so you could technically do it in 2 trips.
Oh, that's much more accomplishable.
Well, and here's a thought too. We did this because we needed something big that would carry all our stuff.
True.
These people just need to get back. You could literally tinker something up that we could attach to the rope, throw it over, and just have the equivalent of a 1 cart that pedals 10 people at a time, and then they send it back and forth, and then they can do it and get back to where everything is.
I mean, yeah, we could get all of the people plus the provisions of wheat and water that they've got in 3 trips.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then take another day to tinker up some sort of farrier system. Yeah, I mean, if they even need it at that point. But
I think taking a day to save 52 people is well worth the time.
I agree.
And they're further away from Father Grimm. Now, when they stop to dwell on it, it looks like he still has some hold, but perhaps a small act of kindness could help to inoculate them from it.
Maybe on the last trip, after some of them have been over there for a while, we could see if they start to remember things as well.
Either way, a day.
A day.
I'm okay with that, absolutely.
And we are coming to the end of the night because you guys did travel late afternoon into the evening, and you've been done all your stuff over the night. So it absolutely, this would be a great chance to test out that steam engine. Just for potential comic relief, I would like a tinkering from one of you to get the steam engine started and running while you were going across.
We'll explain to Peter.
We'll
start this.
What you're going to do. Yeah. Okay, that works. And whoever's piloting this time? Give me a definite. Miss Alice, I believe you still have, because nobody's told me any different. You still have the pilot's hat on backwards.
If I can,
of course,
because we just both roll and then things kind of get added together. So having watched all of this is my contribution. Having watched what all of them did and thinking back to what the stagehands in Wild Bill's would do. Would you accept leadership to be like, no, it's that one right there, and then we should pull this one, and there's a strong headwind coming up, so I don't think I can run it, but I can help guide.
I have a thing. Who's steering? Who would be following these instructions?
I guess Alice.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought from those eyes.
Well, everybody else is shaking their head no, so.
Would
depends on
Alice
what kind of check.
Listen?
What? To Baptiste?
To Baptiste giving you advice.
Yeah, now.
Okay. In that case, yes. In that case, you can roll leadership because she'll accept it, and then you can roll your actual deftness to see if between the two of you can make this thing fly. With your first load of people. Well, let's just do like one big...
There's definitely some jibing.
Yeah. And the first instruction he gives you is wrong, but he's got that left-right wrong because he's facing you and he gets behind you.
Why is it, if my mine is 5d10, but leadership... Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I thought it added to it. Never mind.
No.
My leadership's not that great. Well, that was my idea.
That's all right.
Baptiste thought it would work.
You say go left, and you have to go shit and turn around. Go right. Anyway.
Well, you see, I meant stage left, darling. I apologize.
and she leaves it.
And Alice,
she's like, it's a good thing he's cute.
Yeah. And Alice just looks at Baptiste as he's telling her to do one thing, and she goes, "Oh, darling," and
diametrically opposed,
and flawlessly, it seems, with an 18, does the opposite of what Baptiste told her.
And so with this is perfect with male advice that no one is listening to, which is all right because it's not right. That just got us a subscription. Thanks, that's 3 months, Stump. Thank you, man. So yes, with completely unnecessary male advice, the female captain of the ship doth, with the help of the others, doth rescue 52 of the weak and the weary from a purgatory, so to speak, where they had been left with only bread and water to survive, just in case anybody missed any of those references. And over the course of the next several hours, you guys get these people and the remains of their stuff back to the mainland, where they immediately start to spread out, and being people, they immediately head up the hills to those rich mansions like you guys were hanging out in. Like, why would you go back to your hovel if they can go and live in the mansion on the hill? Nobody moves the wheat or the water barrels that you guys carefully brought back over here and carefully unloaded. They're running through town looking for food at restaurants and
And Alice points out the mansion that like we stayed in, and she says that one is all set up. It's we've dusted it. It's
And Peter's up the hill. The thing you notice once you get here is it is like you asked if earlier if there was a leader, and I said kind of Peter. That has, pardon the phrase, petered out once they got back here. Everybody's just root hog or die. They're just in grab everything. There's literally a whole city, and you can see these people are trying to hoard. Right? They had nothing for 11 days. They want everything. Ellie.
I just kind of because Ellie doesn't really know how the ship works, so she wouldn't be a whole lot of help there. But you said that there were a bunch of kids there?
Yes, not a bunch, but some,
But there's a couple kids.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to spend that trip just kind of playing with the kids and keeping them occupied. And when they end up arriving, I like to think there's one kid that she kind of really bonded with. She's going to try something that she's going to try to pull a card and turn it into like a stuffed animal.
I want to see how well this goes. Roll me. What were we using for your magic ability?
We didn't decide because she's never used it before.
Okay, well, tell me. You tell me. What does she use? Is it her knowledge? Is it her smarts? Is it her street smarts? What is it?
I'm trying to think. She's always been really good at just kind of like. Well, her thing is knowing how people feel. So I'm almost picturing she kind of like tries to get into the look at the kid and trying to think, okay, this is what you want. This is what you need right now.
Absolutely.
That'd be a mien or
yeah, give me that mien. Yeah, give me that. Just your basic mental ability. A 9. You 9. Actually, that's so. Draw 6 cards and just flop them on the table. We're going to see the best hand we can build.
Cards. I love it when the cards come out.
You get 5 plus 1 for each success, right? So every 5 is a success. So if you'd rolled a 10, you would have got 2. And again, you can always burn dice too if you want more.
2 of a kind.
2 pair. Oh no, 4, 5, 6,
4,
7.
5, 6, 7.
That's close. So what it is a pair. That's what we get a pair of 4s out of that. So you go to pull the single card, and first in your head you have this. It's literally having a hand of poker with someone you can't see. It's like having to play the hand out and draw cards, and this is what you ended up with, and you lay them on the table, and that all happens inside your head, and then you draw that. All he sees is you draw that one card out of your hand, and it turns into a little teddy bear about this big. And is this a boy or a girl?
Probably a boy.
Okay. And he kind of goes, oh, like he's impressed, but he could have been more impressed.
She's just gonna hand it to him.
You can burn chips if you want.
That's true. Hold on. I'll burn a white chip.
A white chip. Okay. Let's just translate this. Draw 1 more card and see if it makes a difference. This is being risky, but what the hell? Let's see. What'd you get?
Ooh. The queen.
Okay. That's the Queen of Hearts. That's you. That works. You look at him and it's like, it's not quite what he wanted. And your other hand you feel something move, and you look down at your deck of cards, and the Queen of Hearts just kind of that trick where it rises up by itself and it's backwards in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out, and you look at that, and you look back, and this teddy bear, it's the same size now, but it's got this big like silk heart that it's holding in its hands, and its little head is tilted off to one side, and the little boy is just absolutely agog, and his hand, he's just.
Yeah, she's just gonna hand it to him,
and he pushes right through it and throws his little arms around you and gives you a great big hug.
She'll just hug him back, and then she'll kind of be like, "You make sure you take care of your parents now, all right?"
And he grabs the bear. You're fun.
Alice.
She's kind of look around like, did anybody see that?
Yeah, Alice. If I can, I would like.
Yep.
Alice kind of walks up and she kind of nudges you and she says, "It's kind of fun, right?"
Seeing the smile was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And the kid's running away down the street, and you hear him singing, "Queen of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Hearts."
And Alice points to the little boy.
Welcome to the club, Ellie.
Yeah, she says it's addicting.
I need to know if I was there. Did I hear Alice say that?
Yeah, I think. Is that okay? Ellie, did you want this to be Hannah? Did you want this to be a private moment for Ellie?
Well, no, I think she did it as like a she did it as like a just, I want to make this kid happy, and then she was like, oh shoot, I don't know if I actually wanted anybody to see that, but she didn't think of it at the time.
Yeah.
When you look around, they're all there. Yeah.
She's gonna awkwardly put the cards away.
Jet.
The thing is, if it's both, it's Ellie and it's what Alice said. I don't want to say one more than the other, but if they turn around earlier in this game, I would have said it would have been like a shit-eating grin, but it's like it's that big, but it's just genuine joy. There's just like this just beaming, just like you get it now.
And Alice walks up to Jet, and she like puts her hand on his shoulder, like on the side, like on the, because like right here, and she puts her hand right there, and she just shakes her head and she says, "I know." She says,
I just want to.
She says, "I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not."
Wouldn't have it any other way.
That's all she says.
Lucius?
I just wanted to say to Ellie, it's like, just smile and go, "Welcome to the club."
It's a weird club.
And the ace of clubs shoots out.
I was gonna say the 8 actually, because the ace of clubs got all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, I don't even know if she would notice, but another card drifts out of her deck. It's the 8 of clubs, comes up out of her pocket, and it goes back down like a private joke. Baptiste, you were.
Yeah. I actually like all of the magic users, because he like feels like he doesn't belong to that anymore. He actually takes a couple of steps away and is trying to get it to be private and whistles for Rebecca. I'm assuming she shows up like she always does.
Yeah.
And now I get, oh, this is fun. I get to do it to Marshal Kevin.
Yes.
He drops the glamour. What does she look like?
She looks like essence of horse. The purest spirit you've ever seen. There is no decay. There is no rot. There is no sign. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. She is wreathed and glowing with white light.
He looks around.
So cool, because we just got to create a paladin in
He looks
Deadlands.
around and realizes nobody's there, and then still just to nobody, he just is like, "That's my horse."
And as he sits,
oh my God, you're right! Shit, he's a paladin now.
Yeah, he is now. So, with our paladin sitting in the darkness, our Queen of Hearts charming the local children, Miss Alice and wrong character. Miss Alice and Jet having a laugh at the world's expense. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but is that the first time Jet has smiled? No? I think that might be the first time you said a big open grin. But anyway.
It was specifically because had it been the first few episodes and this same scene had happened, it would have been a shit-eating like, I showed you. And now it's just like, it came around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like that. And Lucius, you're on the trail, man. Every step closer is 2 steps back. In this case, literally, you went 1 island closer and you had to come 2 islands back to bring all the people back.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with this. It feels good to have some people back in this dusty old town.
You have saved the first of them. Oh, wow.
May I, Marshal Kevin?
Of course.
Just wanted to ask Peter quickly a question about my Aunt Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Did she seem affected by this?
There were a few that weren't as affected as the others. Most of them were nailed to big white X's. The smart ones were very quiet. Your aunt must be very smart. If she's I'm sorry, if she's still alive.
Well, she is, and that does sound like her. Thank you, Peter.
She is, yeah. I mean, your family is very well up, but your aunt
I give Peter a hug, like it's just like a hopeful hug.
Yeah. And he heads off.
You take care.
So the 53 souls that you've just saved, yeah, I use those words too, just released back into the city of angels, dare I say. They've come home. They're not lost anymore. Is the symbolism starting to pour through? Is it starting to be really obvious yet? Because, yeah, we're going to end on that for this evening. Thank you so much to all my storytellers tonight. That was amazing. It's time to do that self-promotion part, though. It's time to do a little bit business here at the end. So let's just start right next to me. Ryan, I saw the video you guys just put out today. Very unique and interesting. Why don't you give us a little blurb about that?
Oh, yeah. So we put out a video just kind of talking about the stuff that's helping us get through these really weird times, like new hobbies and just how we've been sort of changing our lives. And of course, in that, we would love to hear back from people what all everybody else has been up to and things like that. And that's been a lot of fun. It's a little less about being a geek and more just about like, hey, this is how we're making it work. A
little bit less about being a geek and a little bit more about being a human.
Human. So find us Roll Roll4 Initiative on YouTube.
I think I can do this. I think this is in here. There we go. There's the stuff at the bottom.
There's the link right down there.
There's the link right down there in the chat. So thank you for that. And Sarah, stuff. Do talk about stuff.
Talk about
Sundays.
Stuff
Talk about Sundays and Mondays, so I don't have to.
Is where we talk about stuff. Okay. So yeah, we're Sunday, Monday. We got the Team Mom and the Warlocks doing stuff. I am doing a lot of video editing lately. That's like my whole life. Because we have our wonderful sponsors, Hero Forge. We have this series that we're doing, Hero Factory, where we are creating our characters in Hero Forge. I'm trimming those down into more digestible formats, punching up some comedy moments, and there are a couple of episodes out now you can go watch. We had a Joe Cat on recently. That episode is out, and tomorrow
a Joe Cat,
yes, and tomorrow the Lilith episode drops, so you can see us making Lilith, and then next week.
So Sundays and Mondays live Twitch, and then Wednesdays is the release on
YouTube.
Yes, yeah, okay,
yep,
cool.
It's on YouTube.
Excellent. Speaking of YouTube, he segued, and she segued with him.
It me.
That's your turn. Go.
Yay. Well, I mean, most of that is kind of the same stuff. There's all our stuff's on our YouTube, Mercenaries of Mischief. You can catch all our backlog of episodes of both Mom, Mercenaries of Mischief, Poison Paradise, our countless one-shots. If you need something to just put on the background, if you just need another voice in the house right now, go put on some of our one-shots. Either, we have everything from Kevin DMing a diamond heist that was a shit show. We have spooky one-shots. All our one-shots are like gold, in my opinion, but I might be a little biased.
Running a game for the first time. John running a game for the first time.
Table flips, everything.
Yeah, the table flips with all the experienced DMs making life miserable for the new DMs. Yeah.
So go check
Dream
that
for
out.
all of us, I assure you.
Thanks, I hate it.
You're
Sounds
welcome.
like
It was
a rite
fun.
of passage.
I tried to suicide and you didn't let me. It was awful. In-game.
I couldn't get you. I couldn't let you have it.
Not my first game. You will not die in my first game.
No.
Oh, Lord. So give us that subscribe, like, and comment, all of that good stuff.
Thumbs up and comments and all that stuff. And I guess that leaves me Thursdays over on Dirty 20 Gaming. Me and some wonderful friends of mine do Ironsworn co-op mode, no DM, no plan. We make it all up on the fly, and it's getting crazy. And then Fridays over there, some of the people you know from here, some of the people you know from there, and some of the people you don't know from anywhere come together to help me play a bunch of fun one-shots. This week is Honey Heist, yes. So a bunch of bears wearing hats attending a convention in an attempt to steal the world's best honey.
You're real focused on them hats.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, speaking of Thursdays, too, I almost forgot.
Yeah, you have a thing.
This week. Oh, no, go ahead, Marty.
Oh, if I may, I did not mean to interrupt. But, yeah, speaking of folks you may or may not know, if y'all, like me, are not really concerned with what time of day it is, you might want to check out our newest show, which will be premiering at 4 a.m. Eastern, because it's broadcast out of Australia. That's right. They got people from Australia, the UK, Germany, all coming together in a show. Some names you might recognize. Guy from How to Be a Great GM. We got Dead Aussie Gamer running the show. We got folks from World Anvil, Dungeon Fog, and Orchid Spalter TV. That's the German one, so if you don't speak that, you may not have heard of that. But, you know, they speak English in the show, so you should be fine. They're playing a game called Through the Breach. It takes place in the Malifaux territory. So now, if you like things like the Deadlands and the Savage Worlds and the whatnot, you might be a fan of this as well. So be sure to check that out. And if you can't watch it live, it will be on the YouTubes.
Absolutely.
That's all I got. I just want to get that in.
Thank you for all the information from all the peoples. Oh, wow. Another session, another week. Here we go. There we went. Thank you again to everybody here. Thanks to everybody that's watching. Thanks to our production team and everybody behind the scenes. All the different versions of our producer. That's a great one too. Enjoy that. It's hard to be 4 people in one head, I'm sure.
Nah.
Probably.
It's easy. You just let them do the things.
You just got to have a big head. And with that, we will take Marty's big head and we will probably shoot you next week. Good night.
Books that all but time forgot, realized that he was higher level than he thought, recalling all the spells that he had missed, improved invisibility and monster shadowy, permanent and powerful illusions they can see, and he studied with a little flask of whiskey in his fist, the drunk